My name is Jason McEvans. July of 2023, almost a year ago, I had bariatric surgery and I lost a little over 180 pounds. It's been a journey. TreVita has been really good to me through this whole process. I couldn't ask for a better scenario. I stopped weighing myself probably a month ago, but I did weigh myself last week, I think it was, and it was 184 pounds. But every day, I was doing it every day for a while, and I stopped doing that. The 6-month period was probably a little more intense than I expected the first 6 months, but once I hit that bounce back phase, it was like a completely different life. I mean, it just changed. Everything changed. I started looking up. I'm a plumber, so it's manual labor a lot of the times, and I'm stubborn, so I didn't do what the doctors told me to do. I didn't really follow the diet plan that they told me to at first, because I thought I could still live the same way and do this bariatric journey, but that's not true. You have to do the stuff that they tell you. Your body literally doesn't allow you to do what you want. You have to pay attention to your body. It's a learning curve more than anything too, is learning your body and what you can and can't eat. Even if I'm having a good day and I feel like I'm having a good day, I drink a protein shake and I feel 100 times better. I'm the type of guy that I get in there, get the job done. I don't stop until it's done. I'm just a go, 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 go. And I actually have to stop myself now and take a break and drink a bottled water. I mean, I have to. Prior to surgery, I would get so dehydrated, and you don't even know it, but with the surgery, your body tells you now that you're dehydrated. So I have to stop and go take my I have to drink water and Gatorades and stuff. I have to go do that. And before, it was more of an option before, but now it's not. I have to do it. It's also kind of made me realize, because I've got employees, it's kind of made me realize that I have to supply that stuff for them to keep them hydrated, because they're the same way. They'll just keep going, going, going. And I got one guy that wants Dr. Pepper, and I've got to remind him, hey, you've got to drink water too, especially with the heat starting. You have to intake that water to stay hydrated. So we had just started the business, and I started researching my options. I was at 345 and gaining on my weight, so I was looking for a quality of life change. That's all I was looking for. I wasn't necessarily looking for what I am now, and I'm thankful where I am now, but I wasn't looking for that much of a change. So I researched the options. My doctor in the States would put me on diet pills, and they tried everything, and I'd lose 10 pounds and gain it right back. So I started looking for options in States. And it was $24,000 to pay cash in America. So I was like, well, I'm gonna try to add that coverage to our health package to be able to do that. And the guy that we used lied to me and said that, hey, it's covered, it'd be covered under your insurance. So we added this package, we offered benefits to all of our guys and everything. And then I tried to use the insurance, and come to find out it wasn't covered. It started on Facebook. I was looking at different companies here that did it. TreVita was just by far the most user-friendly, the most accepting, and it made me feel the best, as far as like, once you call them, then they're calling you. It's not necessarily a sales pitch, but they made everything so much easier. They answered all the questions I had. They walked me through everything that I needed to do. And then they put me on a diet prior to the surgery, and I lost 23 pounds pre-op on that diet, just on the diet that they put me on. They just walk you through everything, and they made it so easy. Fernanda, she was awesome. When I was here, we went and bought some souvenirs, and I needed another bag to take back with us, and she went and bought it. And I had to pay for it, of course, but she took time out of her day and went and bought it. And I actually sent her back to buy another one, because I needed another one. It was our carry-on bag, so we could carry on to the plane when we went back home. They do care, and they show that they care. I tell people in the States, because Tijuana's got a bad name, and everybody in America thinks that this is just a horrible town. And I love it here. Like, we love to be able to come here and experience this stuff. And I tell people in America that it's like you're treated like a king over here. And the rooms like a resort almost, it's just, they've got the big TVs and they make everything so much better. And it's way better than an America hospital. I mean, they ain't nothing like this. We've got our own room. They don't do that stuff in America. And to experience the medical field in Mexico as opposed to America, America's got a long ways to go on what they offer over there. It's more of a number and get you in and out and as fast as possible. In the beginning, I thought I could intake all this protein. I thought it wouldn't hurt nothing. Well, after the surgery, you have to split your diet up because your stomach's so big. And if you intake all that protein, there's no room for anything else. And you have to intake that other stuff. And Enrique walked me through what I needed to change, where he wanted me to stay on the protein, where he wanted me to back off. Because I was drinking nothing but protein shakes, eating protein bars, and taking cheese. Like, everything in my diet was nothing but protein. And it left no room for anything else. And your body needs the sugar, some of the small amounts. It needs those carbs, it needs those greens, it needs that stuff to function. And I was just overdoing it because I thought, hey, more protein the better, and that's not necessarily the case. They supply all this stuff on the paperwork and the digital copy that they sent me on Facebook, and I was just stubborn and didn't follow what they said. And I finally gave in and accepted that I needed to do everything that they told me to do. And when I did that, it was life-changing. I mean, I completely turned a corner. I went through an acceptance phase because for some reason in my mind, I thought I could eat what I want and still lose weight after the surgery. And that's true to a point, but my body literally rejects stuff. So I was going through a rough time. You have to eat. You have to listen to your body after this surgery. It was definitely life-changing for me to finally accept what I'd done, and start doing what they told me to do at TreVita. And then, like I said, it turned a corner, and I was way better off to listen, just to listen to people. And accept that they are the professionals and they know what they're talking about. I had a tremendous weight loss, so I am a good example to see and experience the life change that I did. I'm half the man that I was, So I'm a good example, but because I was stubborn, I went through a phase that I shouldn't have had to go through had I listened, had I followed these directions. I didn't do things right the way I should have. And it would have made things a lot easier in those first 6 months had I have done that and listened to it. It's definitely a life-changing experience that you have to adapt and adjust to those changes. It was more of myself, battling myself, because you listen to your body. You have to listen to your body from this experience. You have to listen to what your body's telling you. And it's either protein or it was either water or, hey, it's time to eat. When it's time to eat, you got to eat. I was always the type of guy that eating is the last thing. Like, it's not important. The priority level on it was, it wasn't important to me before, because I would work, and, I'll eat when I have time. Well, the tables have turned now, because when it's time to eat, you have to eat. You have to intake this stuff. So preparing yourself to listen to your body is a big thing that I think I would give anybody advice for. Is you've got to listen to your body, and there's ways to do that prior to surgery. You cut your caffeine out like they tell you to. You cut your if it's nicotine or sugar in general. You can do these small things prior to surgery to prepare your body to bring it under subjection of what it's about to go through, and disciplining your body. There's a lot of people I watch that they're really religious on gym and what they eat. Well, I'm not that type. I don't have that thread, and I don't have that trait in me or whatever. And I think a lot of people don't. And I think that once I did this surgery, it holds you in accountability for what you have to do. it gives you that trait. Then they say it's just a tool, and that's what it is. It's a tool to be successful in a weight loss journey. It takes a lot for me to accept that title, to say that I was depressed. I think the stubbornness of me trying to fight what I had done, trying to fight what I went through, once I balanced out those hormones, I was fine. But prior to that, it wasn't. And this, I think, still plays a big factor in my stubbornness of not doing what they told me to do, because they give you the map. And if you don't follow it, you're going to go through hard times. And I did for 6 months. But once I hit that bounce back and I actually did what they told me to do, it was just life changing. Your diet's a very important thing. Even people without surgery, it's very important. And I never really accepted that it was so important. I mean, I was a fast food guy. I'd run through a drive-through and eat Taco Bell, McDonald's, or whatever, and eat it on the go and just keep going. And it's not, and that ain't good for you. And when your body's used to that, and here I was, I was used to that, and it was a habit that I had, and I took that option away from me by doing the surgery. So it was like I said, the acceptance phase, and of just accepting what I'd done to myself. And once I did, it was so much better, and it's healthier. I'm healthier now because of it. To cut that fast food and the fried foods and all that stuff out of my diet, it's just been healthy. But once I hit that 6 month mark or somewhere in there, I turned a corner, and it's been great ever since. So the last 4 or 5 months have just been great. I've just got energy to do anything I want. I can run off of very little sleep. It's opened my mind to understand what I'm going through, to understand who I am, really. That's what I've experienced more than anything, is learning myself. And I thought that I did know that, but I didn't. So yeah, I have lost a lot of the stubbornness, I think. I'm replacing it with being religious about staying on this diet. Once I learned my body and was learning my body, and realized the big part of my life was stubbornness, I changed it, and it was better. I changed that aspect of my life, and listening to my body had to really train me to do that. It changed me mentally. It changed so many things in my mind to where this is a different Jason. I'm a different Jason than I was a year ago. Even through the pre-op diet, they would say it's okay, if you mess up, it's okay if you don't follow the diet 100%. We just want you to try to do your best on it. They wasn't overbearing about it. It was very, very understanding. You want to do as best you can to prepare yourself for what you're fixing to go through. So I've really had to learn to slow down and let my body digest, not necessarily digest, but for it to pass through and sit on your stomach to where you have a true feeling of full. So you know that you are actually full. I think that those things that you have to do it played a huge part in me learning myself and really understanding who I am. To pump the brakes and make yourself have to take these breathers it's huge. It really made a difference. So it was a good thing. I would say it was a good thing to have to do that stuff. And it's as simple as following the guidelines that they give you, that TreVita gives you. If you follow those guidelines, you'll do great. When I went through this weight loss, you have to learn so many things about yourself. And like I said, I'm half the man I was as far as what I weigh. You really have to learn all these things, that they actually are an important part of your life, to experience that stuff of yourself. And to take care of yourself, it's so important. You've got to take care of yourself through the business, through eating habits, through whatever you do. You've got to take care of yourself. So I find myself, being more compassionate on myself for sure. I think that I went through what I went through to bring me where I am today. Because had I not went through that, I wouldn't be who I am today. I've got 4 kids, and I've watched them live life. And now that I've went through what I went through and made the mistakes that I made, I'm able to give them advice, and I'm a lot more compassionate on them now. So it's really been healthy for our home dynamic for me to go through the stuff that I went through. And the weight loss journey is a part of that. I mean, it really is a big part of that. It's been able to give me the tools that I need to have more, to be more accepting. It's really been a big deal with this weight loss thing of what it taught me. It really, really was. A lot of people, they don't quite understand that what a diet can do for you if you really have to do it and you really, really stick to it, of what it'll teach you. And a lot of people don't really understand that. A lot of people think that and I was the same way. I thought it was a small part of my life, and this has now changed me to know that it's a big part of my life. That's why I was going down the road I was going in an unhealthy way. So it really, really taught me that stuff. And I think it's important that your diet be a big part of your life. You know, I believe I was addicted to food in a negative way before surgery, and I was eating the bad stuff. So I gained 100 pounds in a matter of a year, gained it. And I think and it was in a bad way, you know, the bad stuff that I was eating and I was addicted to. I was overindulging in food. I mean, where a normal person would eat one value meal at McDonald's, I was eating 2 to 3. I know what I did. You know, I know where I'm at. I know the progress. I know that I've really came a long way, you know. So I've complimented myself, and I feel like I've complimented myself enough that I don't need compliments from other people. I started complaining about what I was going through, and this was life-changing for me too. This story I'm about to tell you. I got into a slump of where I would complain. I was complaining all the time after this surgery. And I started talking about the surgery and the life change and all that stuff. And she's like, you know, Jason, you did it. You are done. You've done the surgery. So why don't we stop using that as an excuse? Why don't we stop using the surgery as a talking point of all this negative stuff? Why don't you've done it, just accept it? And that's kind of where I turned the table and turned the page, or turned the corner on the acceptance phase of what she told me. You know, she's like, you did it, so why don't we stop talking about it and stop using that as a crutch to constantly complain about it? Why don't we build on what we know, what we accepted, what we have done, and move forward? You know, let's move forward. And when I did that and accepted that and actually started doing the things that I was supposed to do, it was life-changing. And it was all because of that comment she made, you know. I mean, once I accepted it, and once I changed, I changed, you know. Once I decided to change, I changed. I really, really am thankful for this weight loss journey because of what it did. You know, it opened up so many things in my mind. I was talking about trading substances for substances. I think that the weight loss journey actually gave me tools and strengthened that aspect of my life, because I was learning myself so much. When you learn all this stuff about who you really are, you're given tools and you learn stuff about yourself that you absorb and you store away to use to be more successful in life and being happy and being comfortable in my own skin. You know, it all started with the weight loss journey.